Essentially, we're talking winter sports. Tom Frederick, middle school boys basketball coach, B team. Jonathan Reed, halftime varsity ski jump coach, and Arthur Smith, halftime varsity ski jump coach. I'm assuming we're just filling in.
So, right, these are contracts that late in the season, by the time we got them around, paperwork and whatnot. So, working with Tom Beach.
Sure, understood.
As they get filled.
And then the extracurricular stipends: Renee Brandon, halftime spring play assistant, and Amanda Christensen, halftime spring play stage advisor. So those are what we're approving right now. Any further discussion? Hearing none, I'll call for a vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Any abstentions? Motion carries. Next on the action item list will be the proposal for dual enrollment agreement. And in this, the letter from River Valley Community College is addressed to Mr. Russ Holden, so I'm going to let Russ explain to what River Valley is proposing.
So this actually comes from the governor, which allows our students to take STEM programs. Here, our curriculums align with the community college system. They get dual enrollment, which means they get credit here in high school, they get credit at the community college system. That credit often is transferable to a lot of other colleges. In the 11th and 12th graders that are taking a STEM program, we do not have those aligned quite yet. It's something that we may look at. And this basically allows students to take 2 credits worth of, or 2 classes on the governor and earn those credits in both areas. We have a advanced coursework policy in place, so we've already approved that back in December, I believe, of this year. And I have a hard copy here that I have signed, and I just need the chair of the school board to sign. And the rest, I think, is
when you say on the governor, you mean the state pays for this?
Yes. Okay. So this was a big push from the governor to offer this STEM scholarship.
So just to make sure everyone understands it, so with this partnership with River Valley, or this
allows us to form a partnership with River Valley.
It allows it, and then for the 2 classes they want to take, they have credit there, credit here. Though the first 2 for each student is paid for by the governor. If we want to pursue supporting other avenues once this is in place, we have that option to pay for additional classes for students that are going that path.
And we have running start programs now with the community college system that is set up.
Okay. And these are 2 per year? And this is just a 1-year contract?
This is 2 credits in either the 11th or 12th grade.
Okay. Great.
Just to make sure people understand it. So motion, sorry, I jumped the gun.
I'm looking for one.
Yeah, motion to support the proposed dual enrollment agreement.
Okay, motion made by written. Jesse, seconded by Ed. We've had some discussion. We need to have any further discussion. Hearing no further discussion, I'll call for a vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Any abstentions? Motion carries. Thank you.
It's just a correction. It's 2 Jesse in the 11th grade and 2 in the 12th grade.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just to state the outcome for everybody listening, and for the meeting minutes. It's a great step.
Just one.
That's it.
That's it. All right. Thank you. Next on the agenda is accept New Hampshire Public School infrastructure funds for Sunapee Middle High School in the amount of $17,480. And what this was a grant?
So this was an opportunity to apply for a grant. I applied for the grant for both the Sunapee Middle High School and Sunapee Elementary School and received funding on both grant applications.
Okay, so we're going to vote on the middle high school. And what are we doing with this money?
So this is for the front entrance, so redesigning the front entrance so that when people come in, they don't have access again to the full building. They also don't have access to the main office. And so sort of sectioning that off will be the window that opens, will upgrade some of the glass in that area and the entranceways and the buzzing system, redoing a little bit of the floor and some of the lighting.
And the 17,480 reflects 80% of
80% of the money that was asked for, right?
All right. Well, I'll take a motion so we can continue discussion.
Make a motion to accept the New Hampshire Public School infrastructure funds for SME. SMHS in the amount of $17,480.
Motion made by Ed, seconded by
Second.
Jesse. Now we can continue to have a discussion if we so choose.
And it's
I
good
think
for the safety of the teachers
And
and
you're,
students.
and then at this point, because we talked about this, I think 2 months ago, and those notes in front of me, you were confident that that was going to cover 80%, and that's still reflecting that.
Yes, and so, just back up, the infrastructure grant was a fund balance from the state that was about $19 million. Again, the governor targeted that to give back to our schools for Wi-Fi, for high-speed internet and infrastructure and/or safety. We applied under the safety, which allowed us 80%. We received that amount, and based upon, again, our preliminary sort of look at this, we believe the money that we put in this grant and we're going to be asking for later will be able to cover that expense.
Yeah. Just to tie them both together, because the next one's coming up
Right.
for people listening.
Good. Any further discussion, questions, concerns?
No,
I'll
it's
call
good.
a vote. All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Any abstentions? Motion carries unanimously. Thank you. Next on our list is another grant, accept New Hampshire Public School infrastructure funds for Sunapee Central Elementary School in the amount of $56,000. Take a motion.
Make a motion to accept the New Hampshire Public School infrastructure funds for SCES in the amount of $56,000.
Thank you, Ed. Motion made by Ed, seconded by
Second.
Jesse.
And then just, if you want to restate for everybody what this was intended for.
So, we've been working on the entrance, understanding, I think if folks have seen the video, I've been in the school, once you get into the vestibule, you sort of had access before you got to the main office. We're going to take the main office and switch it with the teacher's room. To do that, we have to shift a little bit of a bathroom. We've created, we'll have to put some windows in, do some framing, interior, really interior work, some lighting, obviously, restructuring some sprinkler systems. And so this money would allow us to do that, again, with the additional money being asked for tonight, to address safety concerns at the elementary school, just with the front entrance, just that part of the building.
Thanks.
Any further discussion? Any other questions? I'll call for a vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Any abstentions? Motion carries. Okay, next. And next is linked back to the other, to the one that we just approved previous, and that would be the approved proposed spending up to $10,000 from the Sunapee Facility Capital Reserve Fund for the improvements at Sunapee Middle High School main entrance. So that is with the 80% grant that was 17,480. Okay.
So,
Motion?
Motion to approve proposed spending up to $10,000 from the Sunapee Facilities Capital Reserve Fund for improvements in safety to the SMHS main entrance.
Motion made by Jesse, seconded by Ed.
Second.
10,000, up to 10,000.
Up to.
Up to, because that's slightly more than 20% of 17. So, and we've gotten quotes.
We've had 3 different architects come
Okay.
out, give us some
Good.
quotes.
Good.
Absolutely.
All right, excellent. Any further discussion, guys? Hearing none, I'll call a vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? None, no abstentions, motion carries. Next is proposed spending up to $20,000 for Sunapee Central Elementary School Maintenance Capital Reserve Fund for improving the safety of the SCES main entrance. Motion, please.
Make a motion to approve the proposed spending of up to $20,000 from the SCES Maintenance Capital Reserve Fund for the improvement and safety to the SCES main entrance.
Motion made by Ed. I'm going to second.
Oh,
You can second it,
you
Jesse.
go ahead, you get in there.
I'm going to second this one. Just to get in there. Any discussion on this one?
No, it's good.
I think we've talked about the front end of it, this back end. Okay, I'll call for a vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Hearing none, any abstentions? None. Motion carries unanimously. Thank you.
Thank you.
Next on our list is to approve the proposed Sunapee Middle High School Program of Studies for 2018-2019. So I'll need a motion.
Motion to approve the proposed SMHS program of studies for 2018-2019.
Motion made by Jesse, seconded by Ed. Any discussion on this? What do we have for changes from the curriculum from the prior year program of studies?
We all very similar. As I told Mr. Holden, we're still in the process where teachers would be sending us any changes.
Okay.
So for right now, it'd be very similar to last year.
So all the credits are the same, all the graduation requirements are the same?
Correct.
It's all
Okay.
false.
Yep. So nothing has changed from 17-18 to 18-19?
Just what it really does is give you a look at the curriculum.
Yep. Okay. Good. Any further question, guys? Hearing none, I'll call the question. All those in favor signify by stating aye. Aye. Any opposed? Any abstentions? Motion carries. Thank you. And last on the list is proposed property and liability program CAP contract Primex. So, need a motion?
Make a motion to approve proposed property liability program CAP contract with Primex.
Okay, so motion by Ed, second by,
You seconding?
you can say.
I'll second for discussion.
Yeah. Discussion. So can Russ, you, or Kelly
Kelly,
describe what
please.
we're talking about here?
A couple of years ago, we signed on with Primex, and at that time, they offered a cap program so that their premiums were not increased by a specified percentage. And we had 2 years of that, so this is renewing a 3-year term with them, and financially, it made sense. The past couple of years, they went up 3.4% the first year and 4.6%, with a cap of 9%. So they're offering 3 years with a cap of 9% increase of the premium. Positive things, and should know the amount, or negative, and it depends if you want to change.
During our years with these folks, have we had any claims?
Yes.
Okay. I'm assuming there's only one property liability company that we can select from?
This is the one that's in the municipalities.
Okay.
So they also cover our workman's comp. And we had a similar similar plan in place. And we'll just say that it was a good thing that we had it for the last 3 years. Leave it at that.
Good. Any other questions, concerns, guys? Motion made by Ed, seconded by Jesse. I'll call for the vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Any abstentions? Motion carries unanimously. Next are information items. And on the information items, we have Sunapee Central Elementary School extracurricular positions. Jody, I'm assuming that
These are just information.
It's
these are
just
both-
information?
Yeah, just
Okay.
information, it's the usual things.
Okay.
It's the,
Ski program, drama club, prize speaking.
Wonderful. School board training documents and an NHSBA.
So there was a board member asked that I resend out, or there was a conversation at the last board meeting regarding electronic communication. So I resent out to you the information from the School Board Association regarding email and the public, and just also the roles and responsibilities of the school board member. And just to note that I believe there was a comment regarding responding to emails, and the School Board Association is not telling you not to respond to emails. That's not what they say at all. They talk about not responding in a way in which you're taking a vote, or you're potentially trying to sway a vote of another board member, or having conversations about something that should be discussed at a board meeting. One of the things I believe that this board had talked about before would be that if the email goes out to the entire board, that the superintendent would send a response, or, again, thank you for your email from an individual board member, or give me information if you'd like me to pass that on. So I'm just passing this information to you, and maybe as we continue to transition, we could talk about the process in which the board would like to use moving forward regarding blanketed emails to the entire board in responding, excuse me. So just information.
Thank you. And then next would be the Harvard Congress mock trial field trip.
Again, because of our change in policy, this allows me to bring this to you as information. This is a trip that's gone on for a long time. It's a great program. Down in Boston, kids get a very real-life, tangible experience. It's a lot of hard work, we kind of have a tendency to do well in the process. So, just putting it in front of you.
With something like this, pretty challenging, pretty intense, and great exposure, how much are they accountable to come back and share that experience with? I guess I should be asking you. How much are they accountable to be to share something like that?
We really have two different ones. We have the mock Congress. So this is the mock Congress, and then the separate one is the trial, which we don't get approval for because that's not an overnight trip. I'm going to speak to the mock trial first of all. That's coming up this weekend actually, and that's very competitive. One of the difficulties that we run into a school our size again is the kids are very much meeting after school as they can. So you might have a basketball player who's also trying to do the mock trial and it's after school from 3 to 4:30. Whereas they'll be going up against Phillips Exeter, who has a class in mock trial. How accountable are they? Probably not as much as we would like them to be in certain ways to come back, but a lot of that is just a portion of how busy they are with other things. And so they share with the students, but they're not required to come back and share with the students. The Harvard Model Congress, mock Congress, is done with Mr. Klingerman. And so there's a lot of class work that goes with that as well.
Yeah, I was just curious because there's a lot of moving parts with what the kids in this school
There are.
system
One of the
involved
nice
with,
things
so-
for both of those is that students have an opportunity to be individually recognized. So for instance, at the mock Congress, you might have somebody who's recognized for being the top lobbyist, and they each have different roles, and so there's different degrees of recognition they can get. And some years we have numerous students who are, and some years we have very small, and sometimes again there's honorable mention, and then there's a top performer. It's kind of all over the place where that will go, but it's a good experience. The kids routinely come back with very positive things to say, and it's nice because oftentimes we're the smallest school involved with that, so it's a good exposure for them.
Thanks.
We also recognize the students in an all-school assembly at the end of the year, so I don't know which way you meant accountable, but then there's sort of a report out of what they did while they were there, and they're recognized to the student body at the end.
Some of them do quite well and receive honors from the organization as well.
Right, and so those are people running the whole program of all the students and might pick out a lobbyist or a reporter or
Or congressperson.
congressperson.
Great. Any further comments, questions, concerns?
No, it's good.
Perfect. Moving along to the manifest. One of you two will make a motion.
Do you want these in two, just for format? I forget it every time on these. One
Let's-
motion for
one
both
motion
bullet
for
points?
all.
Okay. Make a motion to approve the AP manifest 2018-14 for $127,956.33, as well as payroll manifest 2018-14 for $380,540.26. Payroll manifest 2018-15 for $388,804.91, and payroll manifest 2018-16 for $212,176.34.
I'll second that one.
Motion made by Jesse, seconded by Ed. Do we have any discussion on this? Hearing none, I'll call for a vote. All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Any abstentions? Motion carries. Great. Now we're to the portion of our meeting which is public forum. Public forum is not agenda only, so it's open to whatever you want to talk about, keeping in mind some of the parameters that we set forth in the last meeting. So 3 minutes per and 15 minutes total. And I see nobody moving, so I will close the public forum meeting down now. Go ahead, Sean. 3 minutes. Go.
Sean Carroll, 504 Road. at the deliberative session, there was a petition article that talked about the negotiations. And for new school board members, I know it was a little difficult that night just to kind of probably get your hands around it, but I think it's a sensitive issue as far as how the negotiation should happen, and there's a process to it. And the one thing that I just wanted to kind of help the board that's young understand that there's a process. Generally, it's a matter of the teachers' union sending a letter, getting together, and then the process is they set like goals for the first day, first night, and then they start actually prepping for the pieces that the teachers are like and versus the pieces that the school board like, and then they try to bring them together and negotiate out, which could happen, could be a number of meetings. But the one thing, there's a process, and there's also, it's done in a manner that's behind, like in a non-public session, for a reason. But the one thing that I would like to not see, one side having a yes, we do want to do this that way, and the other side saying no, and having them button heads to the point where it's making one player look bad. But basically what's happening is negotiators need to be treated two. We elect the two. The teachers naturally look like their side. The school elects their side. And we elect the candidates to do this in a fair manner. So it would be nice to not make sure that they don't start butting heads when one side is getting forced to say, well, we really want to open negotiations. The other side said, we're not gonna. And then all of a sudden they're kind of stuck in the middle. So I think the way it's worked in the past is great. And I think the way it should work, and it should continue to work that way. So I just want to make sure that you understand that that manner has been going for quite some time, and it's a fair and equitable way to do it. So just wanted to bring that forward.
Thank you. Seeing no movement to the mic, I'm going to close public comment. Thank you. Next will be agenda for next meeting. Gentlemen, do we have end count also? Anybody else?
Gentlemen,
Name tag.
Kelly.
What do we need to have on our agenda for next meeting?
Well, we'll have spring sports.
We'll have an election.
Nope.
No, we won't.
We will not. We'll continue to do some updates, and we'll see what gets between now and then.
Are
And
we-
elementary school English language arts presentation.
Say that, Jody?
Elementary school
Thank you.
English language arts presentation.
Reading and language arts presentation.
This is like, it's like just a couple days before the election.
Yeah.
It's a week.
Yeah.
Wednesday.
Good.
And it will be at the elementary school.
You will be at the elementary school.
Yes, you probably should work on getting our sound.
Mark
Sound
J.
is very difficult there.
All right. And number 13 is a request to go into non-public session. We have no such request, so I will entertain an adjournment.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Motion made by Ed, seconded by Paul and Jessica.
Yes.
Yeah.
Dual second.
Yeah.
Slow stuff.
8:05.
8:05.
8:05. All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Thank you.